Today's guest is one of those people where the title alone doesn't do him justice. Because if I tell you he's a writer, that's true. If I tell you that he's an actor, that's also true. If I tell you he's a filmmaker, stand-up comedian, and a therapist in training, that is also true. But still, that doesn't tell you who he is. See, this is someone who didn't just grow up in one place, with one perspective here in one story. This is a man who started his journey across seas, and along the way, life has moved him across borders, cultures, languages, and across different ways of seeing the world. And when you live in multiple countries, you're consistently adapting, observing, learning, and you just don't learn how people speak, but you learn why they speak the way that they do. And that's where the writing comes from. That's where the comedy comes from. That's where your empathy comes from, I think. He's someone who can make you laugh, but also make you feel uncomfortable in a good way. Someone who understands that humour, storytelling, and healing all sit in the same room. That sometimes the joke is a shield, and sometimes it's a doorway. And that's what I respect the most about him is he's not chasing titles, he's chasing truth. Whether that's on page, on screen, on stage, or in a therapy room, he's trying to understand people in the process, and in that process, understand himself. Recently, he put that voice into a short film called Golden Duck, a story that says a lot without shouting, that asks questions rather than giving easy answers. And today, we get to sit with the man behind the words, the journey, the contradictions, the craft, and what comes next. So please welcome to the podcast, my brother, Zubair Asghar.
Bloody hell, Kyle, that was a hell of an introduction.
Like that?
I really do.
I'll sort of round it up.
Oh, wow. I hope I'm worthy of all that, yeah.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
But yeah, thank you for setting this conversation up today. I'm sure this will be an interesting noise throughout.
Yes, it'll be. Set the mood, set the tone, everything.
But one that probably the audience is quite accustomed to, right? In one way or another. So I just wanted to set the tone, introduce you, mention Golden Duck, that is now available to watch on YouTube. And for those meeting you for the first time, who is Zubair Asghar?
Wow, that's a tough question. I mean, you've summed it up so well, there's not many words left for me to say. Zubair Asghar is a man who has been blessed and cursed in certain ways, I think. The experiences that I have, be they the silver spoon in my mouth, be they the difficulties I went through, both here, both in living in Pakistan, my short stint in Canada too. I think it has put me through a lot of instances, a lot of situations where exactly that, I managed to challenge myself. I had to challenge myself and I had to grow through that. I had to understand what made Zubair tick, what made Zubair think, why I thought the way I thought, what part of me was mine and what part of me was simply adapting to the culture and society I was in at the time. So I think the beauty of that is, as you say, I believe I have unique angles and unique perspectives on storytelling, connecting with people, trying to get them to see parts of themselves, holding up the mirror. So yeah, Zubair is a work in progress. Zubair is still trying to find out what Zubair is. Zubair still kind of figured out a lot about himself. But I think if a man already knows 100% of what he is, he doesn't. I think he's just too arrogant. It takes an arrogant man to think, yeah, I know 100% what I am. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's probably the same. I think right now and where we are in this sort of movement in time where people are trying to understand the human experience more, I find, you know, it's a lot more kind of fashionable now to try and understand the human experience, I think, whereas in the past there was never any kind of talk of exploration of mental health or any sort of health really, to be honest. But yeah, it's certainly an interesting time. But tell me a little bit about your sort of childhood and kind of upbringing into film and what kind of shaped you to want to get into film.
So, as people can hear, many people can hear, I've got a bit of a twang in my accent. Everybody gets confused. Everybody says, hey, you sound American, bro. But you sit me in front of American, they'll say I sound British. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle of the pond. But I have confused a couple of Americans. It's quite funny. One American asked you, which state are you from? I said, the great state of Leicestershire. What? But no.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, I love
Sunshine State of Leicestershire, yo. Whoa. Middleside, I don't fucking know Midlands. So when I was growing up, the reason I picked up this accent, I think, is because I used to watch a lot of American movies, a lot of American TV growing up. And we're talking the 90s. Of course, they were kind of like pinnacle culture. And the stuff we used to talk about in school. I didn't watch British TV as much. So, and when people ask me, what's your favorite movie? I say Terminator 2. And they're like, flipping why? I said, well, apart from the fact that it's a badass action movie, it has emotional content and humor. Apart from all that, the reason it's my favorite is it's the memory that's attached to it. I remember when I was 5, 6 years old, sitting in front of the TV, watching it with Dad. So I'm sorry, man. The memory there, you can't trump that.
No,
you cannot trump that.
not.
I remember
agree with that.
Dad sitting me down one time, and I used to call him the Terminator in every movie. He says, Zubair, his name is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Say it, Schwarzenegger. So he must have been ticked off. I kept on calling him the Terminator. But yeah, that's how mainstream movies are in my life. You know, storytelling is in my life. There was a period I came back to the UK for studies for uni. Nearly every week I was hitting the cinema. I'd go by myself. I cared because I was there for the storytelling. I was there for the craft. I was there for the satisfaction of being able to watch a story and say, oh, that's going to happen next. And then I got to a point where I thought, okay, it's a bit too predictable. Maybe if it was me, I'd say this. Or if it was me, I would do that. Why would I do that? Because it's not as common. Also, I don't think it's what's in tune with what you would expect in a character, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't studied courses or anything like that, I believe, but the human experience is the human experience, right? So, and we're all shades of gray. And I think sometimes when you write a character, you think, okay, this guy's going to be mainly angry. This guy's going to be mainly a coward. This guy's mainly going to be using humor as a shield or something like that. This guy's mainly going to be like the leader type. But I think I was at a point where when I was going to cinemas, I could guess what was happening next. And I was like, you know what? It's getting a bit too predictable now. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed it. You still love going. You go for the thrill. Sometimes you get a satisfaction in guessing it right. But I got hungry in the idea of thinking that, you know what, if it was me, I'd write this, I'd write that, I'd make this, I'd make that happen.
Yeah.
But I hadn't started acting yet. So...
How old were you there? How long ago was this?
Oh, mate, this would have been my mid-20s. By the time my mid-20s hit, and I could tell what's going to happen in stories, right? Marvel was kind of like halfway through its life too. But all the movies I was watching, all the TV shows I was watching, the fact that I could, a lot of the time, either guess or understand what was happening, that's when I got hungry, that I got to write this shit down. My time to write something. And I wrote a TV series that's sitting in my drawer, and I'm waiting for the right time. And I can't wait to show that to the world. But there's a whole story behind that too, but we'll get down to that later. Having said that, that was it. I mean, I thought, right, the only way for me to make my name for myself is to, skipping a few steps here, is to make my own show reel. And that's when I came to you. I came with a one-pager, and I wrote it, you shot it. It was brilliant. The fact that we could, you managed to make it into a 5-minute short. And then the second show reel scene came along, and Production Hoose came over and said, dude, this is a short. This is actually a badass short. And then I got motivated again. I found it again. So, because I wrote a piece in 2018. Then COVID hit. Everybody got hit in one way or another. Lost a lot of willpower. But that's when I picked it up again after like 3 or 4 years. I graduated my master's in uni in psychology, funnily enough, and sports psychology as well. And I thought, right, gotta go down this. Gotta get writing. Gotta get it out there. Otherwise, I'm gonna regret it for the rest of my life. And here we are.
Wow. Yeah, I still remember our first sit down to kind of talk about Golden Duck and things. So, I mean, moving into that, like, where did the origins come from for Golden Duck and the characters in it? Because it's quite kind of poetic kind of language and things used throughout it. It's not your usual script.
No, it's not. Thank you, man. I'd like to think that. So the fact that you agree with that makes me happy.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it was a show reel scene. I just thought I need to show a little bit of my power, what I think I'm good at. I'm good at a bit of comedy, and I'm good at a bit of something thrilleristic, I think, or a little drama, if you like. Mm-hmm. So the showreel piece I brought to you was just very simple. A guy in a booth, another guy comes along, catches him out, he screws him over, and that's the end of the scene. It was just going to be 1 minute. Then you and your man, Ryan, you both sat down and you saw it and you said, this could be something amazing. That motivated me. So then we started to build this world, and I loved the idea. I was hungry to play a villain. Because I think it's really fun to play a villain, man. It is really fun to do all the things.
It's your casting type as well.
People keep telling me this.
It just is, yeah.
People just tell me this.
You have that smile on your face.
I got the smile, the sly smile and all that. Everybody says that to me, man. But it's cool though, because all the like the negative thoughts you have about the world, all the anger, all the pent up disappointment and rage, you could put it on a piece of paper, and then your man Zafran can be that. He can be the monster that you don't get to be in real life. So I think that's where it came from. The idea of, what do you call it, a British Pakistani gangster, right? For once. And the idea also is the fact that minorities in the Western world, particularly people of my ethnicity, South Asian, or even Middle Eastern, for example, we are so easily stereotyped on the screen. We are so easily, you count them off. You're the terrorist, whoa. You're maybe the doctor, you're the accountant, you're the shopkeeper. That's about it. You're the taxi driver, you're the food delivery guys. It's very, very niche roles. Every now and then you get win a lottery, and you can name a couple of celebrities that have made it, but they are really, really niche for the amount of talent and the amount of stories that are out there. So that was one of the big motivators as well to write Golden Duck.
I like that. And is this the first time that you'd ever written something of that sort of genre and scale?
Yes, it was the first time I had actually wrote it out, and I was looking back to, it was terrifying at first. Like, how can I write this? How am I going to do this?
Yeah, because like you say, you'd never had any traditional kind of courses or training as such. So what did you find your initial challenges, and not even challenges as such, because everything's it's more of a learning curve essentially than a challenge, right? It's just kind of figuring out the best ways to do it. Well,
I think perhaps the first step was getting over my own fear that can I flip and do it, right? So some people feel that you need like a formal course to do these things, and that's fine, and some people do. Right? And most people do, right? I'm not saying I'm magic or anything like that I didn't. I had a team behind me. I had Production Hoose to help me bounce ideas off. And so as I advocate, as being a writer is a lonely thing. You sit in your room, you sit in your office, wherever it is, and you write it out, you type it out, you do whatever you do, you're locked in your own world. And that leaves you disconnected from the real world.
Yeah.
So you do get lonely at times. So I always advise and I advocate for writers like, okay, you get the points where you're in the zone, you're in flow. Your hands moving, your brain's, the machinery's ticking away, and you type out whatever you can. But you're going to hit walls, and they might be in the storytelling process. They might be in your confidence. They might be on a timeline or something. You hit walls. That's part of life, right? So the first difficulty was believing in myself that I could do this. So I got over that, finally. Just telling myself, you know what? Do it or not, you're going to be disappointed if you don't try. So flip and get it out. Then, I don't know. I mean, I needed a lot of your help, your guys to help as well. Telling the story, like deriving like a structure, like a 3-part structure, like an arc, like a character journey or things like that. I mean, traditionally you don't necessarily need that in shorts, but we still made this something that happened in this short as well. Hell of a journey for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody who watches it, they say things like it was 20 minutes. Right? It was 19, 20 minutes or something like that, but we didn't feel the time.
20,
we just kept on watching. We didn't feel the time go by.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. That's one of the best compliments to have. So after getting over that challenge, I think the next challenge was that, okay, well, how can I make it uniquely Pakistani, British Pakistani? How's that experience going to do? And how can we play that across in screen? So I believe the trick now is in our story, because people like myself, my parents moved here. So if my parents moved here, that makes me, I don't know, first or second, I'm not sure generation. Basically, because I was born here, I got a foot in both worlds.
Yeah.
I'm not really there, I'm not really here. That means I've got a unique experience to tell that story.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That little birth there. And I think that's for a lot of minorities, that you never really have that sense of belonging. And the irony is you find that belonging amongst people like that.
Yeah.
So to tell that story, finding that and how to tell that and put that on paper, around existing archetypes, so people will relate to it in a certain way, but still be intrigued at something different, something other, that piques their interest even further. Because if you just told a gangster flick, they're fun, they're great, you watch it, but it won't stick with you unless you have a USP. So I think it was the harder part was trying to make that USP, and I think we did that with Zafran.
I think Zafran and the way that he ships his product as well, I think was genius, and I hadn't ever seen done before.
Yes.
The fact that they were cutting open the boxing bags and the cricket bats, and it was genius.
When we came up with I think Ryan came up with the idea, when they came up with the idea that you can imagine, right, the smuggling it in cricket bats and stuff like that, I cracked up laughing. Do you remember that meeting? I cracked up my ass laughing because I said, you know what? We'd flip and do that. Yeah. If it was like that, we'd bloody do that. We'd find a way, right? Resourceful they are. And people who own like MMA gyms, boxing gyms, and things like that will be well versed right? In getting constant Facebook messages. We're talking about 10 years ago. Now they probably get it through Instagram. Of people from Pakistan, from a little village in Pakistan, right? Which is known to be Saiwal, I think it is, or Sialkot, one of the two. Where the flipping FIFA World Cup is made there. People don't know this.
Wow.
The FIFA World Cup is made in that little city, Sialkot, right?
Wow.
And
why is it made there?
because of the quality of the leather.
Wow.
The quality of the leather there is second to none around the world. So FIFA said, I know there's been ups and downs and there'll be stories, but by and large, they're made there.
Okay.
So they make the boxing gloves there. They make the boxing bags there. They make the shin pads. They make the whole lot, right? The mitts, everything, they come from Pakistan. I mean, there's other places that make them, but we're renowned for it as well, right? In our part of the world. And there's some companies that I could name, they're probably not confident in telling everybody, yeah, we make them in Pakistan, which kind of sucks. There's a reason for that. So yeah, the idea of smuggling stuff in sports equipment was just like, it just clicked. It just made sense.
No-brainer, right? But it's never been done before.
It's not been told like that before, no. Because freaking Afghanistan's next door. Afghani Kush and everything like that comes from there. It does come through Pakistan as well. So why the hell not? And obviously stuff is made in Pakistan too.
Yeah.
So that was a hell of a twist.
Yeah, I like that. And from early days in the script and chatting about it to coming up with these sort of revelations, what parts can you think of that were in your original script that made it to screen? And is there any parts that didn't make it on, or just didn't make it in the way that you'd first envisioned?
Oof. So like the original one-pager was very simple. It was just man in the booth, another man comes along, throws some photos across the table to say, I've caught you out, and that was it. The bouncer type of guy puts a gun to his head, and that's it. You go blank, and it's obvious. You add a sound effect, screen goes blank. When it started growing arms and legs, the whole thing about it was a flipping, I couldn't envision where it was going to go. I just sat there and I just daydreamed. How would I like to see this? What would I like to see on the screen?
Yeah.
And I think what's important in writing is, right, I put these points down that I want to see this on the screen. But I got to make it organic. It's got to be organic. Because sometimes a lot of writers will make the mistake of trying to force this thing in because I want to see it in the screen.
Yeah.
But if it's not organic and you force it in, people will know.
Yeah.
People will know, and they just wanted to put that piece in.
Yeah, you can feel it.
You will feel that, and even if they can't like put their finger on it, it'll be a feeling. So you got to be very careful with that. So I had the list of things I wanted. I wanted him to threaten somebody over the phone, to make that connection with somebody back in Pakistan. I named certain things. I made Balochistan, we named. Bahriya Town, we named. Bahriya Town is a very hoity-toity neighborhood. So Bahriya Town is like this high-class neighborhoods in different situations. It's freaking Mayfair in different cities. That's what it feels like over there, right? So I named certain places. So it would click with people who know about back there. And people who don't know about it back there, then they're going to have a conversation. What's he talking about? What's Bahriya Town? What's this? What's Balochistan? So the underlying crux was also not just what I want to see on screen, but what I want to happen after people watch it, which is to go away and talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe ask their Pakistani friends, what's this, what's that? Maybe make some Pakistani friends, and for Pakistani men to Pakistani people to be proud to talk about, this is something that happens back there. Or this is our neighborhood over here, a situation, conversation starter. So literally all of it, I did not envision coming together the way it did. Yeah. But what I daydreamed, and when I started my pen flowing and picking out, okay, this will work, this will work, this will work. And finally, what was important to me was everybody had some form of a role to play. Every single character on the screen had something. Because I believe everybody, number one, needs a chance. Number two, every single character there was a character in their own right. Absolutely. They brought some sort of unique taste to the film. You know, I didn't want to be the pig-headed guy. Say it's all about me. Yes, which I'm sure some people would have done. I wanted it to be a whole encapsulating story, a whole encapsulating journey for each character.
Yeah, I think you managed to do that. Have you had any sort of feedback on it from anyone?
Mate,
it's got 5,000 views on YouTube now?
Yes, up to 5,000 now.
It's been 4 weeks.
Just organically, yeah. I'm just telling you, whoever watches it. So, like, I lived in Pakistan for about 15 years, right, on and off. And you got your mates, they're boisterous, they make fun of you. My Urdu is still it's still got the English twang. Right, no matter how many years you live somewhere, it's still going to have a twang. So they make fun of me because of it. And they do. They used to make fun of me because of my stand-up. Oh, you think you're funny and this, that, and the other. So I said, all right, fine, you dudes. As your mates do, right? They make fun of each other, right? You do that. It's banter. When I showed it to them, they were speechless.
Yeah.
They were like, Zubair, that's awesome. And you're terrifying. Which is probably the best compliment I get.
Absolutely.
Because over here, right, I guess in Pakistan there were ups and downs and there were difficulties. But here in the UK, by and large, nobody knows an angry Zubair. Nobody knows an angry Zubair.
No,
I'm a freaking teddy bear.
Yeah.
Right? But what do you call it? When people saw that and people say, you're terrifying, the script is all encapsulating. That guy, Kyle, he actually plays a good number here. He does his part very well. The guy who plays the policeman, Joey. Oh, my
phenomenal.
God.
He's great.
He, the way he came up with the idea of the lines as well and came to me with it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
we'll talk about that in a minute, I guess. But yeah, what do you call it? The whole encapsulating idea of flipping, the fact that, like I said, the best compliment was we didn't feel the time go.
Yeah.
They just kept on watching. They were at the edge of their seat. What's going to happen now? What's going to happen now?
Yeah.
And the twist, the actual twist that I would have thought, see in my head, the fact that twist would have been a little obvious and I was worried, is that twist a bit too obvious? But people did not guess that. People who are veterans of cinema were not getting that.
Yeah.
Oh, that made my heart jump with joy. I got him.
Yeah, I think the way that in the when we sort of got to the editing process and we decided to essentially show the beginning of the end at the start.
Yes.
I think that really draws you in. And even if you're going to switch off within the first 2 or 3 minutes, which a lot of people do, I think it makes you want to stay longer because you need to satisfy what was going on there. That has to be satisfied in your own mind, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it was a genius twist.
I believe that was a great idea. I think, again, one of your ideas who did that, to put that tense part at the beginning. I mean, we're not giving anything away when we say the copper comes along with the freaking giant, I don't know what kind of the name of the sword it is.
I remember what that's called.
I don't know what it's called.
Some
It's
sort of sickle, I don't know.
yeah, it's a funky ass sickle, right? It's not pleasant,
I
right?
think it's a Turkish something.
Turkish something? I'm sure somebody out there's going to tell us that's what the sword is, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
Tell us what it is.
tell us.
If you're out there, tell us what it is, because it's badass, right? So, yes, the fact that we give it to the cop and the cop picks it up and he's about to strike and you're like, well, what's going to happen now? Of course you're going to say, well, what's happening next? You're going to cut us off there, leave us hungry? Yeah, we're going to leave you hungry. You're going to have to watch the rest to find out what happens.
Yeah.
And it doesn't and then it comes back until like minute 18 or 17 or something like that the answer is given, which definitely keeps them hungry. Like, what the hell's going to happen next? What the hell's going to happen next?
Yeah. It's, I think the process of when we got to on set, so our first day on set was obviously in the warehouse. It was essentially a day and a half shoot, I would say. We managed to shoot that 19 minutes in, which is impressive.
It is legendary.
or silly, or I don't know what it is, but we've done it.
So it's a very fine line between ambitious and freaking crazy stupid. But you know what?
I think
we straddled it.
I think as a team though, and as a group of creatives, I think it really shows what we want from the industry. That we're willing to put in whatever it takes, because at that point it was it's whatever it takes, and we're all here. And we realised that it was a long day at times, and everyone was obviously well fed and watered and things, and it was a case of everyone kind of wanted to be there, even at hour 15, 16. Like people were up for it.
And we were all on. There was no real break. There was just like little nibbles here and there.
Absolutely.
That was it.
And there was no one really switched off. No one needed a G-ing up. As soon as action was called, everyone was in. And some of the BTS footage and stuff, you can see that. Look at Yaya and Wiggy doing the behind the scenes. He was properly going for it. I mean, I actually sent a video that I took of Yaya. It was me just kind of secretly videoing him when you were on a take.
Right.
And he's talking to Wiggy, sort of behind the scenes, and he's telling this whole story without even saying a word. And then our man walks by with a box, and you just see him look at him, and he's like, oh, and you're like, oh, what's he talking about? Like, I want to know more. What's going on here? You know, I think everyone was just so on and into the story that everyone just wanted more. And I just wish that we'd had more time. I mean, it's a feature film concept, what we shot, and usually one thing that Ryan and I and yourself have sort of learned as well over the last few months is that a short is situation based, not character based. So in a short, we're into the situation. We don't have time to know that that guy's auntie has 3 cats, and there's it's like no one cares. They want to know the situation, and then it's easy to kind of feel out who the good guy is, who the bad guy is. So I think what we had there was a feature film script that we executed very, very well into a short. And I think the edit took us a bit longer because of that. It was finding the right way to tell the story without being like, oh, this is feature film concept here, and ending up losing people. But I think that was down to the cast and the crew essentially for making it happen on the day.
Every single body. The fact you can have the best idea in the world, if you don't have the team, if you don't have the people who have your back,
it's
right?
a game of percentages, right?
Yeah, you ain't got shit.
Yeah.
You need your team. You need the people who back. You need the people who believe in the dream. And we had everybody. I'm gonna take it back to Joey. Joey the Copper. That man executed Dirty Cop so goddamn well. So goddamn well. That piece where when he's swinging the sword, I'm trying not to give away parts of it. When he's swinging the sword was flipping terrifying, to the point where afterwards he's swinging it as well to get it out of his system. He was all the way in. And when he came up to me to make a suggestion, I want to say this. This is the part where I got checked. And I'm very happy I did. Joey, I'm really grateful you did this. I've told him as well that, you know what, I got a little precious with my script. I got a little precious with my piece. I didn't want, on the day, I mean, I was working with you and Ryan and we put it together and it was great. But on the day, I was really precious. That, we got a great story. It's perfect. But then he came up to me and he said, I wanted to do this. I want to say this. Right? My knee jerk was, but it's fine as it is. Why? Why does he want to do this? But then I was looking at him. I felt some sort of energy from the guy. And I said, give me 5. Give me 5 minutes, all right? Because I know what it is you want to say. I know what it is what you're trying to do. And it actually might work. So I checked myself. I said, get over yourself, Zubair, because you got to believe in the actors too, right? You got to, because they're taking your character, they're making it real. Yeah. And if anything, if you're really lucky, you get a guy with talent, they'll give you more than you ever anticipated.
Yep.
Joy was that.
Exactly that.
So 5 minutes, I thought about what he said, I felt the energy, I wrote out something, ran it past Ryan, ran it past him. And does he deliver that line at the end? Does he deliver that line? I felt it every moment.
Yeah,
Till after cut, I still felt it.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was. I think leaving a little bit of room on set. I think kind of 80-20, leaving 20% to happen on the day. I mean, you get it with like kind of writer directors who can be very precious about the words, and then you can get actor directors, you can get cinematographer directors who don't really bother about the words so much. As long as you're saying what it says in the box, then you work your way around that, and you find a way to make it yours. But like you say, it's only someone with a bit of talent and understanding a story that can really help to bring that. So I think we were lucky to. Oh mate,
on that day we were so blessed.
Yeah.
Everybody had their own flipping talent to bring. Everybody we made of. Right, so everybody has their little box and what they're capable of. We get that. And you try to challenge those boundaries, exactly. But everybody on set that day had their own little box of talent, capability, communication skill, presence, whatever it is. And we somehow, everybody managed to portray that on the screen on that day. Everybody had their part in a way, and everybody left everything there, gave everything, all they needed to give. Yeah. So that was the beauty of it, exactly that. And if you try to restrict someone, if you're on, I get it sometimes the nature of the piece is elegant and delicate. I get that. If it's delicate, I get it. But if you like that all the time, and you don't give your man room to breathe, or your woman, you don't give your actor room to breathe, to express themselves, right? And you're saying, no, just walk this line, that's it, full stop. You're gonna lose a lot along the way, I think. You're gonna lose some of the humanity of that person that they want to put into that character.
Yeah. That's it. It's one thing that I really love about this industry. I've said it time and time again, but pretty much everyone in the film industry has chosen to be that. No one really ends up, it's not like leaving school and falling into a trade or your dad's business or whatever it might be. It's like everyone has kind of put in time and effort to learn the trade and be there. And I think you really, really feel it on a film set. And I absolutely love it for that reason exactly. And obviously starting Production Hoose and things, it's essentially why we've done it, because then you really get to kind of build a team and kind of choose who you work with. And it's just a beautiful thing. So it's,
agreed.
I think over the past, 6 years, that's Production Hoose has been going for now. And it's just grown miles. And the fact that the longest kind of thing that we've made to date is Golden Duck, and it was our biggest test at that point as well with such a small crew. Obviously we had a little bit of budget that we pumped everything back into the film essentially to make sure that we had good locations, we had good food for everyone, which is very important.
Yeah.
especially, I think you have to look after your actors and your crew if it's a passion project as such. You know, it's we're obviously hoping to get to the stage this year that people will start funding us and seeing what we can do and sort of believing and putting their stories in our hands. So I think it's only going to continue to expand and grow from here.
That's the beauty now, because now you can show people, look, we've done it. I'm a big advocate of showing what you can do first. Too many people out there talk a big game. I got a dream about doing this, I got to do this. But they ain't got nothing, to back them up. They haven't even made the bones.
It becomes an excuse though. I can't make my film because I don't have money.
There you go, that's it. It's so true. Oh, I can't do this because nobody's...
I'm going to do a crowdfunder and ask everyone for a $5. Like, come on, there's better ways.
Crowdfunding has its place, I get it, but if you put all your chips in that and saying no one's come forward so I can't do it, then bro, like you said, you are the excuse. You're your own problem, right? The way that we managed to figure out, and after we shot on screen, the way your team went away and found a way to get it made eventually by hook or by goddamn crook, right? Now we can take that in front of everybody and say, so, see, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this. And look at the quality of this.
Yeah.
We get recognized, people point it out, people give us awards.
Yeah.
So now you have to find an excuse to say no to me.
Yeah. Do you remember when the plane came into it? How did we end up with even considering going after a plane?
So I think what we initially started, the plane was just like, the fact that we got a plane was freaking magnificent. It's legendary. People say that and say, oh, it's just another short. And then 30 seconds in, we're on a freaking plane. Like, excuse me? What?
They're like, that's a green screen. Wait, no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's a real freaking plane. All right, it's not a Boeing, it's a freaking Fokker. But still, we got a plane. So the script was calling the idea of like, because your character was the American guy coming in. And the idea was big guy's got enough money, Zaffron's got enough money to charter you in. Right, so that's supposed to be the subtext. Charter you in on a private plane, get you picked up privately, etc. So the story was just going to be, all right, we'll ask a private airport, right, somewhere nearby. Look, dudes, we're just going to shoot outside. It's going to be like a cheat. The idea is someone's just going to walk outside and get picked up by a car. It's enough for people to understand they landed, right? And then you guys went in. We spoke to the guy, and he says, oh, yeah, sure. Do you want a plane? That's how I tell it to everyone. Do you want a plane? Yeah. No. Fuck yeah.
Like,
give us a plane.
He's like, do you want to go in the air?
Yes. Fuck yes. And the fact that he found us a freaking pilot and the guy shows you and how many of you guys were in there? It was just the three of you, wasn't it? It was your character, the pilot, and whatever his name was. Was it Ryan at the back? Who was it?
Ryan and Owen doing sound.
Oh, Owen was in the back as well?
Yeah, there was 4 of us in that tiny ass thing.
Jeez.
And I remember kind of getting into the plane, and the pilot's looking at Ryan and Owen, who are both like 6'2" plus.
Bigger than me!
Big guys.
Yeah.
And he's like, can you lose some weight? And Ryan's standing with the camera, and then Owen's got like his sound recorder, and it's like, is it going to be a problem? He's like, nah. I'm like, all right, okay. And then he goes to fucking start the thing, and he's like, he's like, it just does that sometimes. We're like,
oh yeah, sure. It just does that.
And then,
come on, lads, get out and push start the freaking car. I'll put it in second gear. Come on. What?
We obviously got up in the air, and then he says, "Oh, okay, it's a bit windy. We're just going to do a touch and go takeoff." He'd done one lap, and he's like, "It's a bit windy. We're just going to do a touch and go." We're like, "What does that mean?" So he comes down, he hits the runway and goes again. We're like, roll the camera, roll again, get take 2.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, that was, it was
really,
a good experience.
It really pissed me off that I couldn't be there
I know,
that day.
I was so gutted.
Oh man, just to be there, just to witness all of that would have been life-changing. I'm not going to miss the next one. I don't care what'll happen.
No, exactly. But hopefully we'll be full-time actors. That's
by then, yes.
So, you know.
Absolutely.
What's your favourite line in the film, or favourite moment?
Oh, that's too hard. That is too hard. The favourite moment. I can't pick one. I think, the one that everybody else likes the most and comes back to me with is when I just say it's just chai.
It's one of my favourite moments.
Yeah.
It's a look. It's the way that the camera breaks that 180-degree rule as well, and we're just on this side of the face.
No, yeah.
It's quite menacing. But it's like you don't know what he's going to say, and that beer is waiting for it.
The sheer frustration, chai. It's just chai. You flipping white Gora, come on, chai. It was just That's all it is. That's all up. I also, after the fact, when it was reflected back by me, your team, was you and Ryan, was the line where I said, I've survived army raids in Balochistan. Because anybody who knows a little bit about the history of Balochistan knows that it's been quite a ruckus area. Not necessarily for drug lords, it's just that there is an unfortunate instability between the state of Balochistan and the federal government in Pakistan. Mm-hmm. Army things operations happen there all the time. So to be able to convey that and show that, to say that there's a base of reality there that is plausible, because the Balochistan border, a lot of it is along Iran, and then it touches into Afghanistan as well, and it's a very destitute people, and with destitute people, they will do whatever they can to try to get out of destitution, including crime if need be. I mean, that's just the nature of human beings. Yeah. So I think, wittingly or unwittingly, that line actually was loaded a lot more than I realized, and after the fact, it became more apparent to me. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, it's a genius line, and I think it tells the whole backstory. I mean, like we were just saying about shorts, there you don't really have the time to understand a character as such, but I think with lines like that, you're telling so much with so little, and that's in the intro there I said that it's a film that says so much without shouting. And it's really a film for reading between the lines. As much as it's quite wordy and poetic, I think there's so much more said than what is actually said.
You know what? You've ticked on something else that's flipping piqued what I wanted to say as well. A lot of the time, a lot of scripts and a lot of writers will make a mistake of over-explaining. I want to try and because there's a certain satisfaction as an audience member, I feel, in connecting the dots yourself.
That's what a good writer will do.
I'd like to think that. Yeah, I'd like to think that. So that, and sometimes two same people ain't going to connect the same dots. Yeah. No, this is probably what it meant. Nah, dude, that's what it meant. Great, go off and freaking argue about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So our moment, the bulk of the moment is your character, my character having that conversation there. Was a lot of it. It's not over explaining anything. It's just a power game, and it's, even though, like you said, it's wordy, it's poetic, and at times I was a bit worried that it may be a bit over wordy. But the way that it was written, the way that we managed to shoot it, the way that we managed to execute it, the way that the power play kind of leans one way and then finally leans another way. Yeah. I think there's a satisfaction in that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Is Zafran dead?
Do I answer? Do I not? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
it could
you don't
be.
Have to know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're just not
could be. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's we obviously see quite an injury, but
yeah, he doesn't seem quite there, does he? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Zafran's got in store.
yeah. But what do you see next for the story? Is there next, or is it a one and done for Golden Duck? Or
hell no. Golden Duck, just like you said, is like an idea for something bigger, something bolder, I think. I would love to tell a story. Two things I want to do. Number one, I want to tell that story where minority gangsters are, because, I think in British cinema, it's very limited when it calls to gangsterisms. You've got the white gangsters and you've got black gangsters, which is fair. Every now and then Turkey are making a Moonlight now because, cinema has progressed a little bit more. Yes, you get Russians. There's a few, but by and large, they're generally white. You don't really think, you kind of know, but you never see it on screen. You don't really think of big-time players being from South Asian culture. Mm-hmm. You really don't. And there are some, absolutely. Anybody watching this who's dealt with police or worked in police will know better than me. Absolutely. So just to tell that side, it's like I say, telling the stories that we already know just from an Asian lens, from a different lens, from a different culture, that you already know the story, but it's like, just imagine I think there was one, like an old black cast of Romeo and Juliet or something like that, right? An old brown cast of Macbeth. So it's the same story, but it's like intrigues you that, okay, well, how are they going to tell it? Yeah. So that's one reason why I want to do that. And the other reason I want to do the story as well is that it's not to force fit it into a Western angle, but to try, like I said before, try to straddle between the two worlds, this world and our back home world. I mean, I'd love the idea of rather than them being suited and booted in a Western style clothes to be suited and booted in Eastern style clothes.
Yeah,
because
in Pakistan.
Oh yeah, oh flipping it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would be
we should
so
in
cool.
Pakistan.
That would be so cool.
Hell yeah.
Right? And not just at a wedding or something like weddings. Don't get me wrong, we have the culture. Our weddings are awesome. They're a throwdown, right? But those suits, the way they dress, everybody who sees my suit when I used to promote MMA, when I used to step into the ring, flipping gold pinstripe suit, trousers, the freaking, what do you call it, the waistcoat that we had custom made, the buttons down here. People are like, how the hell did you make that? I said, it's Pakistani. That's our style, you know?
That's how we do it, yeah.
So exactly, just that element of presentation, rather than try to fit it into this angle, expose the world to a different angle altogether. I'd love to do that. So that the idea of this and the fact that people are actually appreciating it and actually loving it, and the only critique people have, right, gets shot down when I tell them we shot it in one day. When I say we shot it in one day, they're like, "Oh shit!
How?
Oh yeah, how? Really? Okay, I have no quarrels."
Yeah.
So the fact that we have that has boosted my confidence above and beyond.
Amazing.
So I definitely want to build that world and grow it more.
So how do we do it? What do you need?
We need, well, number one, people I think already believe in it. Initially I was going to say we need the project, people to believe in the project. We need we need people with the vision to back it. People who understand that this is a story that not only has a financial return, but a cultural return and a social return. We need the right type of backers who will say that, okay, look, I'm Zubair, this is Kyle, this is Ryan, we made this amazing piece. You invest with us. Not only are you going to invest in your pocket, you're going to invest in an image. You're going to invest in a culture. You're going to invest in a landmark. People will say you were part of that revolution there. A new type of storytelling, a new type of mark on society.
Absolutely.
We need people like that. And I'm sure there's plenty of those people out there. I bet they're a bit nervous about what the heck am I going to put my money into.
Yeah.
But when they see us, like I said before, we've walked it, we can prove it, we've done it.
Yeah.
We need people who know, right? People who have vision.
Yeah.
To be able to say, all right, you're the man, you've proved it to me, here you go.
Yeah. I think another point is to find the end game for, if it was the Golden Duck feature, for example, where is its end game and how can that be monetized? As in, is it an Asian streaming kind of platform? Kind of where does it end up so that it can be monetized for a different kind of culture and things? You know, so I think it's just finding the home for it.
Ah, yeah, definitely
finding backwards from there.
I agree, because ultimately, yeah, there's the stereotypical. I mean, I'm the ultimate believer that nobody's coming for you. Nobody's coming for you.
Absolutely.
Do it your damn self.
Yep.
When I promoted MMA in Pakistan, right, I had to start from scratch, from zero, right? So there was already MMA people there who were fighters and who knew how to fight, but they didn't know how to organize events. And I never got to compete myself. I got up to black belt once in Bando Karate, but I never got to compete. Another story there. But I saw these boys and I said, there's talent here, and girls as well. So I used to promote it from scratch. I had to educate the public. This is what MMA is. Then it got to a point in 3-4 years where around the world, low to middle MMA communities around the world were like, there's this bearded guy in Pakistan, yo. He's putting on MMA fights. We want to go fight in Pakistan. I'm talking Japan, China, Zimbabwe, Uganda, Rwanda, flipping Malaysia, Canada, right? They were contacting me, calling me sir. I'm like, what are you calling me sir for? What the hell? Older than me, but still, out of respect. And that's not like something, I don't want to sound arrogant and just say, that's not just something amazing about me. That's just when you're hungry and you want to flip and do it. You get out there and find a way to do it, right? So if you've got the hunger, frickin' find a way to eat, bro. But, absolutely. Like you said, finding the end game, back to this point where I say nobody's coming, right? See what the industry usually does and do it your bloody self. Do it your bloody self. Find a way. Yeah. This fact that our team found a way to make Golden Duck there. Yeah. We made it by hook or by goddamn crook. We made it. And now it's out there.
I think the fact that you're sitting here now already proves that you're ready for the next step.
I agree.
You know, you're already on it.
I'm hungry for more, bro.
Yeah.
So the journey to get it out there, right? If I were to pitch a guy, I would say, look, I'm not just going to make it and hopefully play it goes on the cinema or streaming service. No, sir. I got a journey for this. And I got a journey for you too. I know what our community are like. They like a night out. We'll take them here. We'll screen it there. We'll take it up and down the country. We'll screen it some more. I'll talk to local cinemas. I'll talk to national cinemas. Screw it. I'll do whatever I can. Is my ego getting in the way here? I don't care. Maybe you'll have to shut my ego up. Make me fail first. Prove me wrong. I will get out there, bang every door if I have to. Bang on every door to say, I got a product you can't deny.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do. And that's what people need to do, I believe. And then you can say, okay, it's done, it's run, 6 months, whatever, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Then we'll talk to the streamers and say, look, it's done numbers, yo. Come here, you want some numbers too?
Yeah, you can't deny it.
Can't deny it. That's my mantra, if you like. Walk it first, then talk.
I like that. That's really nice, and probably a nice place to wrap up as well. Is there anything else that you want to plug?
Right, yes, I have one more thing to plug, my friend. On the 12th of February, right, coming up, our team are putting on a hell of a hilarious comedy night. We are relaunching the VIP Shisha Lounge here. As you can see, we're sitting here. It's all bright and getting ready to refurbish itself. We're going to have a hell of a lineup. It's a minority lineup. So we got Apne Sare, we got people from African backgrounds, we got mixed race people on the lineup, and we got a white of the night. That's right, we haven't left out the white people. We got one. That's not this guy. But we got one white of the night. He's the token white guy on the lineup. So we're going to have food. We're going to have laughs. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have music. It's going to be a hell of a blowout of an opening night. I hope to see you there.
I don't think a comedy night's ever been done in a shisha bar, right?
Not to my knowledge, yo. Not to my knowledge. If it has, it hasn't been done loud enough. And if you can't tell, us two, we scream. You're going to hear it.
Yeah. Well, fantastic, mate. Thank you very much. And watch Golden Duck on YouTube.
Watch Golden Duck, yo. Yes,
man. It's amazing to know you, brother. It's
Same
amazing to know you.
Same here.
There you go.